Welcome to Inner Power Particles. I'm Farhat, the host of the podcast. We talk with entrepreneurs and leaders about how they have solved the challenges in their life or business and how it has transformed into new inner strength in them. And with this, we want to help that you also can look at your life or business situations and see how you can solve the challenges in them, and through that, transform them also into new inner strengths, inner power particles in you. Enjoy the show. Hi, Gati. And thank you for finding time to meet for the interview. Just to start with, can you briefly introduce what do you do today?
So I'm a co-founder of Overly.app, and we are building a self-service augmented reality platform where everyone can create their own augmented reality experience.
Okay. This is like something on the wave of popularity at the moment, like rising wave.
Yes, it's rising. It's actually not very popular at the moment. It's trying to find its way in the market right now, but it's growing. And we are waiting basically when the AR glasses will become alive, like in mainstream.
So when will they? How do you think?
5-10 years, maybe.
From now.
Yeah.
Does it mean that now, today, you are making a bet on something that will go mainstream after 5 to 10 years?
Yes.
So you are ready to work on this startup for next 5 to 10 years?
Yes, I'm already doing it 10 years already. I started it in 2013 with the same mindset because this technology at one point, it will be in everyday life, it will be a mainstream thing. So we will use it like a phone today.
Okay, so I just want to highlight this, especially for folks who are into, I will build a SaaS 1 to 3 years exit and be rich. So you are already 10 years in this game, and you are ready to be another 5 to 10 years at least, I understand. Wow, okay. So 10 years in it, can you share a bit what has happened in those 10 years for you professionally? What was the business about? Because now you say you are a startup, but startup of usually 10 years, it's already not a startup. So can you highlight something here?
Yes, we had a lot of things going on in those 10 years. When we started to build this business in 2013, I already made other business before that, and every one of them failed because of my lack of knowledge. And finally, after several attempts, I found a really good co-founder, Einars, and we decided, okay, this is augmented reality team. It's really interesting for us, and we want to build something about it. We don't know what exactly we want to build, but we know that in the future, this will be something huge, but we have to get there somehow. So we started with some simple products. It's also were very similar to what we are doing right now, but it was much more simpler. So it was a platform where publishers could create their AR experiences for their magazines. So the printed media can bring more information.
Which year was it?
2014. We launched it in 2014 in the election. There was election campaign, and together with magazine Steer, we launched the first campaign and together with our product. So when you scan the booklets of the politicians who are saying what good they did, and after you scan the booklet, you will see an article and video about the wrongdoings. This was the first thing we launched there. And then we started to go into magazines and publishing, but it didn't go so well because the publishers should make a content, and content was the issue at that point. And it's still it, even today.
So what do you mean with content here?
So they need to create a content. They need to record a video. They need to prepare specific images so they can be used in augmented reality. So this was extra job for them, and they didn't see the value of it. We saw that there is not so much we can get out of it.
Okay. So I get that it wasn't a huge success in the beginning, but how did you survive those
we slowly turned it into an agency. So we started to build all kind of crazy ideas the clients asked for us. Like we started to build solutions. So interactive photo booths, solutions for museum, for exhibition centers, all kind of things where we can use augmented virtual reality and all these interactive new technologies. So we became an agency.
Okay, so meaning you were doing the job on project basis.
Yeah, on project basis.
An interest in the augmented reality.
And most of the profit we invested back into the product. We basically developed two separate businesses through these 10 years. So the product business, it was struggling, and we actually neglected it because we were too focused on this individual solution business on agency side. So the one started to grow really fast and steadily.
Agency.
Yeah, the agency. And the other one was just ding, 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 burning money. But we were putting the money inside anyways because we believe this is what we want to do.
So you are two founders.
We are two
right?
founders, yes.
So you started it in 2013. On 14, you launched this campaign, wasn't successful. You went into project business and you said that the agency grew. So can you highlight something like how big the agency grew and how was the revenue and team size?
Yeah, we started with two people, me and Anders. Then we hired some new developers after we started to make some revenue.
Yeah.
And by the years, it steadily grew till the end of the last year up to 1 million in turnover and was like 20 to 30% in profits. And the most of the profits we just reinvested back into the product.
Okay. Can you tell about the product? What is it?
The new product is the upgraded version of this self-service platform, what we already explained in the first part. So now we are focusing mainly on e-commerce. So we are doing Shopify plugins and WooCommerce plugins. So if you have a e-commerce store, you can use service, upload your 3D models, or if you don't have a 3D models, you can create them with our help. And you can visualize your own furniture if you're selling, for example, furniture or any other product. If there is a chair or stool and you have only pictures, you can upload a 3D model, and so right from your store, you can see it in your room, the 3D model. So you can see how it will fit in your environment.
Okay. So what happened? Why did you suddenly have this energy now to work on the product side?
Because we burned it out. So each of those products I made before, not products like those solutions for museums, they were devices, custom-made devices. They need maintenance, and we built hundreds of them.
No. I mean, Gati, what was that? Because you said that the agency was growing, but the product was not. But now, when you share about this product e-commerce, it makes sense. Can you share what's your take now after 10 years running an agency and also building a product business? How do you handle both things, or how do you find the balance there?
There was no balance.
Okay, what do you mean with that?
Because we were too focused on the agency side, and we neglected the product side. So on the paper, we worked and we developed it, but we weren't focused on it. We were focused on building those individual solutions, and basically this product somehow grew. It, I don't know even how, but it grew. And we, in the last 2 or 3 years in the agency side, we were too busy with it that we mostly reacted to things. And company was growing. Everything was growing fast and really.
So you were happy?
I wasn't happy.
Wasn't?
I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with what I'm doing because even the revenue was good, everything was growing, but I didn't felt happy about it because I felt that I'm doing something I don't like to do anymore.
So the agency work was what you didn't like to do anymore?
Yeah.
And you have a growing business and you are not happy in it. So did you do something about it?
Yes, I tried to do many things. And one of the main things I did actually is I met you, when I met with you and you asked to join to the Cocoon program. One of the main things I did, I had to convince Einars, my co-founder, that we need to go there to understand what we are doing, what things are holding us back, because both of us were really happy about what we are doing. So we need some redirection. We need some advice from outside who will help us understand what we are doing right, what we're doing wrong. Because, one is the growing business and the money, but how to manage yourself.
So, and if we for a moment still stick to the business side of things. So you were in an agency which is growing, you are not happy with it. Then you have a product which is struggling, as I understand. What did you do on the business side?
On the agency side?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if I understand correctly the question.
So what was your strategy? How did you go about solving this? That you have an agency which is for you personally not working, although the agency itself is working.
Yeah.
And you have a product which is not working.
Yeah. So how did we solve it?
Yeah. Can you share? Or you didn't solve it?
We solved it. There was like a really hard step we did. We decided to give away the agency business to our employees.
What do you mean with give away?
there was an idea that we could sell it or just give it away partially to someone or to employees, maybe make some plan, 5-year plan, so they can buy us out. But we realized that the main thing why the agency existed was our brains, how we communicate with the clients. So basically, we can't sell it to someone without ourselves. So this was the way how the thing was working. It's an agency business. It's a very individual thing. And we started to look inside our company who could take over it and continue it. And there was 2 guys who really fitted that. So we started to talk with them and asked, hey, do you want to take over this agency? And almost a year, we worked on several scenarios, how we can solve them to it. For example, there was an idea that there is a 5-year period. After the first year, you need to make, for example, 400,000 in turnover, and then you get 20% of the company. But there was one but. They could not make their own decisions. They was asking us many questions. Hey, can we do this? Can we do that? And we realized that it doesn't work. They need to make another way how to do it. And then I talked with, you remember this one meeting in Rocket Bean Roastery?
Yes.
You shared your experience with your coupon site. You had this business. It was previously successful. Now it wasn't so successful, but there was a value what you can get out if you are looking to sell for someone. And this idea that you shared with me, you told me that, okay, I can spend 2 years to search for someone who can buy it for example, for 40,000 or 60,000 or whatever the sum, and I can earn the money after those 1 or 2 years when I made the sell. But I can sell it for €1 or just give it away and buy 2 years of my life. So this was something that clicked for me, and I was, this is another way on how to look at the things. So I shared this idea with Dinos, and we decided to make a meeting with those employees, and we just offered, hey, this is December, end of the year. Do you want to take it? All the company, and we are just splitting everything, and you are now on your own. And they agreed, and basically in a time period of 1 month, 1.5, something like that, companies were completely separated, and we went in a different ways. And they had the company, we left them with the resources so they can survive, and they can continue to develop this agency side.
This is a bit extreme. I know that my example was extreme, but here we talk about your story, and this is also another very extreme example, because what you could have done also actually is you could have looked for a third-party buyer, found him in a half a year maybe, and sold the company actually for a few €100,000, depending on the previous year's profits. So don't you regret what you've done?
There is we talked with Einars about sometimes when we sharing this story to other people, and only time when the regret came in was it's only when the greediness appears. But when you cut out the greediness, it's like, I'm happy what I did, because the guys, they are really good ones, and they can just take over and work with it. They are not greedy, and we are happy that we gave a chance to other people. And this period in my life, and this agency business, it served his time. Like, I learned a lot. I took a lot of lessons, and there I should open a new chapter in my life. So if I will be more and more involved in this selling process and all this management, it will take another 1 or 2 years. I can't buy it with 100,000 those 1 or 2 years.
So what you're saying is that you gave away the agency, which has revenue, profit, has clients, for free, basically, because you got what in turn?
2 years of life.
1 or 2 years, basically.
And I think it's great, because it's not that we don't know what will happen. We know that, okay, this year we closed it with 1 million turnover. There was a huge project going on, and we knew that next year the project will be smaller. So there will be a drop of revenue anyway. So everyone knew that. So in order to keep it up, we need to completely focus on this agency business. So again, the product will be neglected completely. So our decisions.
So how much time has passed now since you did that?
We split it in January. We finished all the process in mid-February, something like that.
So you also mentioned that before that you felt unhappy how the things were going. And I hear that you acted on this feeling. You took it into account in your decision making. Can you share a bit more about how do you take into account feelings, your emotions? What role does it play for you in life? Because also we could say that, well, entrepreneurs, very rational people, balance sheet, money, profit, pom, pom, pom. So how about you?
For me, it's a little bit different. Before I met Einars, I really struggled with the finance and business management side. So Einars had this strong side with finance and business management. So I learned a lot of him. But at the same time, I didn't want it to go that way, that you only follow the Excel sheet. It's not for me. It's like, okay, you can build all the businesses you want. You can become a millionaire or whatever. But if you are not happy, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I'm following probably more emotional side, what I'm feeling. It's because we didn't had any obligations to other people. If there is obligations to other people, we have an investment or something like that, then it's a completely different story. But we were free to change what we want in any time with this agency business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we just followed your inner voice. And the inner voice told us that we need to change something. We already were burned out completely. So it was really hard to work.
You mentioned inner voice. Can you elaborate a bit? What do you mean by that?
Like inner voice is telling that all the things you built, it's like a burden on you, and you are talking with yourself. How many things you build and support when you will break down? When you started, it was like a kindergarten. You were just playing out, oh, new technology, something new again. Let's build, let's research, let's play with it. But you build it. The devices get older, they need some maintenance, and everyone is calling you in the weekends, in the nights, and all the events. You have to go and check there that everything works, and it's like building on you all the time. And inside of me, I was always thinking that I need to change something. I need to stop doing this. I don't feel myself anymore.
So am I correct hearing also feeling that what you're saying is that repeated experiences, if they repeat and repeat, they make you unhappy also?
Probably, yes.
Because you built maybe in the first couple of years various types of projects, but then you see, okay, yeah, again, projects repeat,
Yeah,
same stuff all over again, then maintenance, and there's nothing new happening there.
Nothing new happens. Basically, the same things in different like configurations.
Yeah.
Okay, we learned how to build them really efficiently, really fast, and at a lower cost, but it also costed our emotional.
Yeah. Very interesting. This means that people are into scalable tech companies. Maybe for some, but for many, I guess it's not greed or whatnot, but this is the ability to build, because all the time you build, you are creating something new. You create the first version of a product, then you expand it, then you create the organization, then you expand it. Of course, at one moment, this also gets boring, meaning I know from our clients with like a couple hundred people teams that, okay, it's already also boring, because then you're just meetings. You don't get to put your hands on the actual product or customer or conversations on. So, okay, I know from what you've privately shared that you've also done some other life searching experiences or yourself searching experiences in your life. Can you share a bit about those?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest life searching experiences was the travel to India. I decided that, okay, I just want to go on some crazy journey. I didn't book anything. I just bought a flight ticket and booked a bike, Royal Enfield in New Delhi. Motorcycle, yes. I went there alone, completely unprepared, and it was specifically, I did the thing. I was unprepared.
So what does it mean, unprepared?
I didn't book a place where to stay.
But did you have like gear with you?
There was something, but most of the gear I bought in the New Delhi, I was looking for it on the spot.
Okay.
So the idea was to completely change the environment and make a hard restart and take a look from different perspective.
Why? What led you into this?
I don't know. I don't remember what was the main reason, but probably the love of the motorcycle. That was one that I really enjoyed, the motorcycle driving. And the Indian Himalayas, it has amazing mountains. And I saw some motorcycle traveling videos, and I thought, I want to go there. And I just, okay, let's buy a ticket and go there and drive in a motorcycle along the Himalayas.
Were you part of this business already?
It was in 2016 already.
Oh.
Yeah, because My story began long before Overly. I already tried several businesses. They failed. I struggled for a long time. So when the Overly start to become profitable, there was a chance to finally reward myself. And it was my first trip,
Mm.
my leisure trip. All the other trips were business trips. And this was something that I rewarded myself for the success I had.
How long was this trip?
Almost 3 weeks, but in the Himalayas, in the mountains, it was 2.5 weeks, yes.
Wow. Can you share what did you experience or what did you find there?
Yeah, it's interesting that I wanted to find a monastery with the monks, get some mindset of them, how they are living, but I was searching for something that I really didn't know what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, I understand that I'm probably looking for some self-accomplishment. Even if the business was already successful, it wasn't there where I want to be. So I think it was mostly about the accomplishment of something that I can go there, travel and become back and everything is good. I think it's more about accomplishment that you did something for yourself.
So, and did you get it?
Yes.
What was your takeaway or conclusion after this
That
trip?
I can drop myself completely in strange place. I don't know anything how it works, where to go, what to do, and I can go and do what I planned to do. So
Yeah.
like I can take the journey and come back successfully and like accomplish the mission. I always tried to do a new business and I failed, and I wanted to do something completely crazy and be successful at least there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Coming back to the business story, you mentioned a couple of times you have a co-founder,
Yeah.
and that you are more into feeling side and intuition, and he's more, as I read it, business. How do you combine those two aspects? Are you always on the same page, or you have some tensions? How do you resolve them, if there are such? So anything you can share from your experience on building a good relationship with the co-founder?
I can say that I'm really lucky with Einars because somehow we understand each other. I'm a little bit pushover of spending money on the research and all the new things, and here more about the saving money and reinvesting in some more profitable ways. And we are pushing each other from our own side, but we always find the middle way.
Yeah.
For us, we never fighted. We never had an argument like nasty or something like that. We always were, okay, what is the main goal? What we want to achieve is that. So, okay, I see Einar's managing all the finances. He does excellent. But I am always looking for new ways how to develop products. I'm more like a researcher. And of course, researchers asking all the time money. Hey, we need to spend on this and that. He's always flowing with that. Hey, Gatis, slow down, slow down. Like, we need to really check if it's worth to invest or no. And then we are both together trying to research this topic and see what we can do about it.
So, am I correct to conclude that what your relationship revolves around is also mutual respect?
Yes, correct.
Because when you have the mutual respect, then you can quite easily go into contradicting topics, have different opinions, and even argue about it, but in a respectful manner.
Yes, correct. There was one problem I had with myself and what I learned only from the participation in Cocoon program, that I was afraid of confrontation. So before that, mostly I agreed with Einars, but lately I realized that unconsciously I was just afraid of conflict. So I didn't want to ruin this excellent relationship. So in many times I agreed to things I didn't want to agree, and they wasn't correct. So, but in the end, I learned that this is my flaw. I need to fix it, and I need just a constructive criticism. I need to learn how to criticize other person in constructive ways. So,
did you know that you are agreeing to stuff that you don't want to agree with? You knew it.
Yes, I knew it.
You knew it, but you could not confront.
Yes, correct. And this main thing, what was bothering me all these years, was that I was in the startup scene all the time. I wanted to build a scalable business, but we stuck in the agency side. Okay, it's profitable, it's good, but how about the product?
Yeah.
We started to build this one. We need to go to accelerators. We need to raise money. And I wanted to go that direction,
Yeah.
but we were stuck in the money making side. Okay, it's needed. You need money to, but I wanted to take this one,
Yeah.
this product side.
So what you're saying is that you were with your co-founder for quite many years. You were in some form of artificial harmony.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, we agree always, but actually you were not agreeing, but couldn't. This is a very important point, because when you start to break through this artificial harmony, next thing that happens or can happen is the period of conflicts, which doesn't feel nice. I choose word conflict, not some, as you said, nasty arguments, because conflict means I want to go this way, you say you want to go that way. Now the cards are on the table, we are looking opposite directions, and we need to discuss, can we and do we want to find now a common ground? But how was it for you? Can you share a bit for those who also feel similar, that it's hard to speak up and to confront? What helped you? How did you accomplish it? Any tips and tricks on that?
I think the most helpful thing for us was external help, because when we started to go in a cocoon program, our mindset also changed, and I was more peaceful with myself, because I knew that even if I will do something wrong, maybe confront too much, there is another people already involved who can take care of it.
Yeah.
It was all the timing in the right place. So I don't know if without Cocoon I will be so brave about it, because one limiting factor for me was security.
And what do you mean with security?
Financial security. So I could break everything down with my confrontation. It was limiting belief. Now looking back, I was like, what the hell? By limiting myself with the security, I was basically limiting everyone.
Yeah.
And by not confronting, I am making more bad than good.
So if I understand correct, that then your process was that you understood better what is holding you back from confronting, meaning what is the fear, what are you afraid of? Because the fear was not that Einars won't like what you're saying, but for you the fear was financial security.
Financial security, that we will make an argument and we can split up and the business can be busted. Maybe the harmony was perfect. I really like it how it was, that we don't need to argue, we don't need to do anything. We can understand each other from the half word. And I was afraid to ruin it, and if I will ruin it, of course the business will go down. And I knew my flaws. I knew that I can't manage things Einars is managing. And I was afraid of losing.
I think that this indeed is so, that with mentors' support, it's easier to do this. However, and I mean mentors who are experienced in self-developmental areas, not only business topics, but if we would for a moment assume a founder is listening to us who doesn't have such a mentor and cannot get access to, in, I don't know, foreseeable future, to self-dev proficient mentor, what's your advice to someone who's like, hell yeah, I also feel this, I can't confront, and I also relate that yes, it's not good, but like, okay, now what?
I think it's one way to do it. Is start smaller, start to bring up the topic, just what you don't like, just talk smaller, try to get the other person on the same page and discussion, try to discuss with him. And so basically, first of all, you need to overcome your own fears and see what is holding you back, and then start this discussion.
This is a good thing what you said. So meaning maybe not to present it that, hey, I want to confront you, we need to discuss this, but instead you can just say, lately I've been feeling that this and this makes me feel so and so. So it's a softer form. How
you just explain yourself, your feeling, because if you will start to say, hey, I don't like how it is going, I want to change this and that, like, okay. But if you will start with the feelings, what do you think about it, and where is it going? Just ask the questions. Ask the question, founder, where are we going? What's the plan? Like, I think this is a really good way how to start to think, because if you will start to confront with the things, what to do, and you don't have the answer for yourself, then there is no discussion. But you can just ask questions, your founders, okay, what do you think about all of this? What we are doing? Like, it can be several occasions. You don't need to do it one time. You need to do it repeatedly, time by time. Hey, what we are doing, where we are heading, what is your goal, what we want to achieve.
but also to listen to what you feel and to share what you feel.
Yeah,
is
and also,
important.
of course.
Because eventually, if we are in a situation for a longer term where I don't feel good, but I will squeeze myself into the
Yeah.
situation just not to lose the relationship and this business and whatnot, then actually if I'm not in a good place, I cannot give in all my best in it. And actually, it's like lose-lose setup in this
Correct.
situation.
Yes. Yeah, and both of the founders in this situation can go down like spiritual. If you will burn out, the company also will burn down. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
It will not survive.
Hey, but okay, thanks to the fact that you started to speak up and confront, you both realized that this is not working for you. You gave away the agency and now you are with your startup product.
Yes, we are basically back in basics 10 years ago.
Yes, okay, except for the knowledge that you
Yeah,
have
the knowledge and
experienced.
some finance. Yes.
How about finances? So how about the financial fears? How is it for you now?
I don't think about it. Sometimes it creeps up, but I don't think about it. I'm listening a lot of interesting books, and the thing that I learned there, just don't think about your fears. If you're fearing all the time that you will lose something and there will be a problem with the money, you will just attract those things. So I'm just don't think about. I'm focusing only on the main goal. So we have this product, we have a runway, we can build something out of it, and I believe that we can do it. We can sell it. We just need to sell it. We already have the product. And now when we are completely focused on it, there is like no way to fail. Of course it can happen, but I don't think about it.
If someone who is listening, who relates to you and wants to support your startup, what is it that you need for your further success? And to make this a bit more less time bound, what is something more general that might support your success, not only this quarter, but also in the next year, in 2024?
Yeah, for us as a company, the most important things are clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment, like we wanted to raise the money, but we realized that after the several talks with the investors that we need to show some real numbers. So we now are completely on the selling.
Yeah.
While we have the runway and money, when we are trying to raise MRR, monthly recurring revenue, then we will maybe go back to raise the money, or we will just bootstrap yourself. Ideally, I want to bootstrap everything.
And what are some of the industries that you think you might be open for serving in next year also?
E-commerce, definitely, and print on demand. There is two main areas we are exploring right now. We are struggling these years to find your ideal customer persona and or niche, but now we narrow it to those two ones.
Yeah.
The Einars are mostly working with e-commerce, and I'm with the print on demand. And let's see.
Okay. You mentioned that ideally you would bootstrap.
Yeah.
So we are not into, hey, let's raise 3 million euros.
No.
And why?
Because for me, the feeling is that you are borrowing money anyways. So
technically, yes.
Technically, yes. So, and when you're talking with the investors, so they're also telling that this is not a really good time to do it. And the ideal is to bootstrap. And if we can bootstrap, it means that the business is successful for us. And when it's already successful and you need money for a fast scaling, it's a completely different story. Then everyone is happy. We are happy to take the money, and investors are happy to give us because the growth is fast. So there is no way to fail.
So what you're saying is that if you are a software business, not a deep tech where you need to invest a lot in the early stages of the technology, then ideally you bootstrap the experimentation phase.
Yes.
And if you need to fundraise, then fundraise for the scaling phase.
Correct. Because I was in this investment raising before Overly, I was in a different startups involved, and all the mindset in that time period, not only for us, but for everyone was, okay, I had this idea. I need the money. Everyone was borrowing this investor's money. And I was like, even then I was thinking this is wrong mindset. Okay, if you have some stage where you need this money to develop it so you can sell it, there's some deep tech technologies, it's also a different story. But for our case, we can build really fast the product by bootstrapping it from other businesses.
Yeah.
So when we have these profits already coming in, there is some revenue and we can break even, then we can go take the money. So this is, for me, this is ideal scenario. So everyone is safe.
Yeah. Also less risky for investors as well. One question I have, or few last questions. One is about the time. So you are already 10-ish years in this, and you are open for the next 5-10 years in it. What would you say to people who are more into, hey, I want to build, scale, sell, exit? 3 years is my time frame for the. Is it realistic? Is it not? Any takeaways regarding the timeline?
It depends in what business you are in. It really depends. I will not limit myself in a time frame. For example, if you have, okay, I want to exit in 3 years, it can be possible, but for me, I'm more about the journey, where I'm going and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Of course, if there is an investor who is like asking, we need to do this after 3 years, then you need to comply about it.
Maybe this is another reason why not to fundraise in early
Yeah,
stages.
but I wanted to bring out that we actually have one investment. We were in this startup Wise Guys Accelerator, and
Yeah.
they invested 100,000 K. So we have some obligations. They need to be successful, so they can exit also. So
Yeah.
we have some obligations.
Okay.
And
So interesting. You were in Wise Guys. You also mentioned Cocoon. So I see that you've been relying on using various types of mentoring support. Can you highlight like what is mentoring for you? Because it's a tool, yes? So
Yes.
what do you use this tool for? Does it work? Does it not? Why? How?
It's good responsibility because when you are in this agency, when I was in the agency business and I was in the mentoring at that point, I was running, reacting, and I didn't have time to slow down and just watch what I'm doing, reflect on all the things I'm doing, because before each mentoring session, I need to prepare for it. So there was, for example, with Alexander, I had things I need to prepare for the meeting, and I just need to sit down and write it so he can be prepared for it. And then I finally have time for myself. And I can reflect what I'm doing, how it was going, what things I want to like talk out. And it was really a good experience. And it was before I never listened to myself. I listened, but it was not enough. I was like, what about this? What about that? And yeah, okay. But now you had some partner where you can share what you feel, where are you going, what are you doing? And it was really helpful.
So how was it helpful? What?
He was asking the questions, like there was things you can solve, and I'm sharing my story, I'm sharing my problems, what I did, or even not the problems, they're just the things I was thinking about. And he was asking the question, okay, but how do you feel about what you did about it? It's like a therapy.
Uh-huh. I'm also curious, as you have these both experiences, you've been an accelerator, and at least I think Wisely is a very good accelerator.
Yeah.
And you've been in a self-dev program, Cocoon, for the entrepreneurs. So what's the difference?
Cocoon is more about yourself, about your personality. You have really good this explanation that our personal problems are holding us back from the business success. But Startup Wise Guys and all the accelerators, they are more about the business side.
Yeah.
They will consult you, they will connect you with the people, and they will make things work. But Cocoon is going much deeper. It's like a core of yourself.
Yeah.
They're going inside. What is the problem? Why are you not succeeding?
Mm-hmm. So at least in my experience, so that when I meet founders who have very little or zero business experience prior to meeting with me, and they are in early stage of a startup, I usually recommend them to go to an accelerator, because this is where you get the kind of first drill, the business know-how, and then to return to us afterwards. So that's been my approach.
So I already done it before. I was in the incubators. I was in many programs. I went there, so different startups. I burned a lot. So I wanted to work with myself. There was a time to work with myself.
Okay. I want to conclude with one question, which is also a personal question. So you mentioned that you've been in business before you failed. Then you've been for 10 years with an agency where you didn't feel happy. You gave it away. Now I can feel you are bright and right and satisfied. But throughout all these years, what are the main things that have helped you to keep momentum, keep going, not to break down, not to give up. Because there are people also who, okay, entrepreneurship is not for me, I'm out.
Definitely the place where I am, where I'm working, it's co-working Riga. And it's amazing people around there. There is so many startups. Many of them are already successful or exited. And when you are surrounded by the people, you always go and share your problems, your success, anything what you want. And there people are coming in and going out, and they are only like entrepreneurs. And you can share this experience. Okay, these guys succeed. How did you get there? Oh, we had like 5 to 10 years struggle. We almost closed it 3 times. And when you hear the story, but how do you deal with it? And they are explaining their story. So you see, you are not the only one who had the struggles. Everyone have those struggles, and they are sharing their experiences, how to overcome them. Due to that, this is the only way how I could survive all those years. I'm going back, like I'm in this co-working from 2015. We're still there. It's like almost a mother's house. We're going there. People are changing, but the ideas are the same. That there are people who are just eager for success. They are working, and it's really uplifting. You're going there and just pump yourself up.
Also, what I think from what you said is that if we are kind of boiling in our own juice in our bubble, then if things are not going well, then the risk is that a person says to himself that, okay, it's not going to work ever. I'm complete loser. Everyone else is so successful. I'm the only one, and it will always be like that, and it will never change. But if you interact with others, you'll get kind of reality check.
Yes.
That first of all, you are not only 1 second. It's not going to be like that forever. Things can change, and a lot depends on the mindset.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And in the past, we already grew so big. Like for us, it was a big team. We were together with the employees and freelancers. We were a team of 23, something like that. And we occupied most of the co-working space.
Yeah.
But we started to close it. I started to feel that we are not interacting with other people anymore.
Yeah.
And now we are back. Now we are back to 3 people in the team from 23. And now we are interacting again with everyone. We built your own bubble, and we somehow stuck there. This was interesting experience also, what I noticed only now.
Well, any company builds their own bubble, but you built the bubble in the agency. But to break into the scalable business, then sounds logical that you broke down one bubble to be in the wider open.
Yes, yes. Well, of course, we will build another bubble. It's unavoidable, but at least I saw this, how I missed this part. Like I was so inside my own bubble and so comfortable.
Yeah.
And understood that this conformity is what it's holding me back. It's comfortable life. So let's remove everything outside. Even now, I'm removing all the furniture from my home, from my flat completely. I will leave only a mattress. That's it, and start a new life.
So then, to conclude, if someone who's listening feels like things are stuck, boiling in your own bubble, can reach out to Gatis and get some perspectives and kick in that to get out from the bubble.
Just for the listeners, I'm not crazy. I have like a finances saved. I can make some hard moves. It's not like I don't have anything and I'm just like, let's throw everything away.
Yeah.
No, it's like I really felt that some things are holding me back, and I need to change, make radical changes. And this is similar to the experience with the motorcycle. I was completely unprepared, but I will go to India, and I will live somehow there, and I will make it through.
There's a saying that you cannot walk new roads in the old shoes.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Nice that you are walking new roads now. Thank you, Gati. Thanks for the conversation.
Thank you for the invitation.